And reminder, if you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll pass the microphone to you. Brian?
I think just 10 field goals made for you guys inside from 2-point range. That's a season low for you guys. What did you see with just the struggles, being able to score inside the paint or just inside the arc in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think as we know, that's what they want to do, protect the paint and, make you shoot threes. We had some open ones, but we played in the crowd too much. I think, obviously, it shows by the turnovers. 27 points off our 18 turnovers and not seeing our outlets. We had our best stretch of the game in the fourth quarter where we penetrated and kicked and got 3 wide open shots. But that's what they're trying to do, deter you from driving to the basket. And for the most part, I don't think our decision-making was great when we got to the basket, whether it was a drop-off or kick out for threes. But we need multiple penetration, multiple paint touches. And they did a good job as far as that. And like I said, I think Jalen and Jason didn't have their best night offensively and missed some easy ones that we were normally going to make. And so that combined obviously leads to those numbers.
Well, you may. How do you get different shots? I mean, they obviously wanted you guys hitting the three or shooting the three and just cracking open what they do defensively in the paint.
Yeah, it's with this team, with the physicality, they guarded on the perimeter. Obviously, the pickup points are much higher. We can spread them out and space them out and get downhill and attack some. Lopez and at times Portis were up high enough where we could have penetrated on those guys. We settled for some tougher 3-point shots. We got to get downhill and get to the basket. Obviously, we can put our guys in different positions with some post-ups and some things where we're not fighting as much from the perimeter. And so we'll take a look at that and figure out what we want to do as far as that. But, offensively, like I said, not our best night. I felt we guarded well enough, holding them to 101. But to have 89 points and lack of penetration and paint points is obviously alarming. So we got to figure that out. But we know who they are defensively, and I think their physicality more so than anything caught us off guard.
They picked you up full court for a lot of the game. How did that impact you guys, and what do you need to do better against that?
Sped us up a little bit. They're trying to take us out of certain sets, but we do like the spacing that it affords us. Like I said, I don't feel our rim reads were the best tonight. We know Lopez is going to be back there. So we had some kickouts and some, drop-offs that we could have made, and also some shots we missed close by the basket. Sped us up, and I don't feel we played with the best poise and composure overall. Good to see what they were trying to do as far as speeding us up, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, I remember asking you at the first practice back after the Brooklyn series whether this physicality was going to be a different animal for you guys. Do you feel like the level of defense that they played after, the end of the season after playing the Brooklyn defense, that this level was just at a place that you didn't even really fully realize it was going to be?
I don't think that. We know how they guard, and they have really good perimeter defenders. So, it's not a surprise what Holiday's going to do and what Matthews and some of those guys are going to do as far as that. But, I'm not going to use, Brooklyn as an excuse for this. We're prepared for what they were going to do. And like I said, I felt, it's in a way good to get this dud out of the way offensively, and so to lose a 12-point game when we played that poorly offensively, I think bodes well for us. We'll figure out what we like as far as that. And then I think our poor offense fueled their offense. And so a lot of ways to clean up and get better.
And do you feel like you settled for too many threes too early? Did that set the tone for the offense that you were very willing to take the 3-pointers early on, or were those the shots that you wanted to get?
I mean, we're fine with open threes, honestly. I think we have 3-level scores with Jason and Jalen, and we didn't take a lot of our mid-range pull-ups that were there and over-penetrated at times. We got some offensive fouls, and then, kind of got into the paint too deep at times. So, the paint points are great, but also the intermediate and the mid-range are good for us too. We've got 2 high-level guys that can score there. So, when we do penetrate and kick and get them in scramble mode, I think it's going to lead to more paint touches, but we want those open threes as well. And so, didn't shoot it that poorly, 36%, but obviously had many more wide open looks that we'd like to knock down.
Giannis in the first half, he was facing up a lot, and you guys had to send a lot of help. He was getting a lot of kickouts. Second half, he was backing down more. Did you guys have to change the way you helped, and how do you feel like that worked, considering he was able to have plays like when he just threw an alley-oop to himself off the glass?
Yeah, I think first half, our rotations weren't as sharp as they needed to be. We're a little slow as far as that. Sometimes we're going to go after him, sometimes based on who's defending him and in what position. We want to let those guys guard straight up. So I felt, especially when he's looking right at you, kind of trying to bait you with that pass out of the double team, we went too quick at times when he's looking at us, and our rotations weren't sharp. Obviously, those guys rely on him to get those open 3-point shots, and they had, I think, 6 for 11 catch and shoot threes in the first half. So we got to be better as far as that.
Staying with Giannis, you guys did a solid job defensively of keeping him contained. He had one of his worst shooting nights of his playoff career, but he did finish with a triple-double. How difficult is it just to make sure that he doesn't start going off in other areas?
Yes, I mean, to some extent, those great players that command the double team, you want to pick your poison at times. I think we helped unnecessarily at times when we had some good matchups on him. Or, he's going to shoot a fadeaway jump shot. We want to live with that shot. And I think we rotated there, and then our rotation wasn't sharp behind. So guarded him more so one-on-one in the second half, but he impacted the game in the first half with a lot of kick-out threes, and that's obviously evident in his triple-double.
Did their physicality at all, you think, get into your guys' heads in the way that they did make decisions that you weren't happy with? You think that was kind of weighing on them a little bit in some of the decisions they made, knowing the physicality that was happening?
The physicality, I think the pickup points, they're guarding us really around half court, sped us up, took us out of some of our sets. And so we can't be surprised by that. We have to obviously play with a little bit better poise and not get rushed. And at times those caused some of those turnovers. It felt like we were going up and down and a little frantic. Both teams were at some point. And then, some plays are getting called, some are not. And so I think that kind of bothered us a little bit. But, we can put our guys in better position, to play against that physicality, especially when they're going to pick up that high, initiate the offense with other guys, and we'll figure that out.
How much was Marcus's leg also affecting him? I know when he came out right before half, they said it was stinger and quad. It seemed to be very favoring that a lot in the second half.
Yeah, he took a few hits, took 2 in the first half, and I think the quad bothered him more than the shoulder. But, he's going to play through a lot, and it could have affected him offensively, getting downhill, driving a little bit, but defensively as well, which he likes to climb up into guys and be more physical. So it probably affected him some. He's getting iced down now. I assume it'll be okay.
The Bobby, Lopez, Giannis lineup, what extra challenges does that present when they're using all 3 of those guys at the same time?
It's a bigger lineup, than traditional, what you see nowadays, but we played against those guys all year and had some success. So we feel there are some advantages against Lopez and Portis as well. So we're a big team as well. And, these are 2 larger size teams going at it. I don't know if that affected us as much as their guards, honestly, on the perimeter.
Just one more quick question to Marcus. When he left the court, was it made known to you right away that he'd be back, or were there a few anxious moments there?
In the first half,
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a stinger. And so he kind of said that walking by, and then we knew he'd be back. Just had to get checked out really quickly before half.
Ime, is the quad something Marcus has been dealing with for a while, or is that something new?
I think he got hit twice today, but he's, the way he gets through screens, he gets hit frequently. But looked like 2 got him back to back today, and that was bothering him. Tightened up a little bit at halftime. He missed a few games earlier this year due to that.
It seemed like the officiating was causing frustration also, and it was kind of back to the December Celtics of kind of, not getting back on defense and things. How do you kind of keep, as you mentioned, the poise when it's going to be frantic out there, they're going to be physical, and you guys haven't seen that in a while?
I would say, obviously the turnovers are leading to those transition more so than us complaining about calls. Some of those are live ball turnovers that get down running. 28 points, like I mentioned, in transition, 27 off our turnovers, way too high, especially when they only score 1-on-1. So got to be stronger with the ball, understand what they're going to be. They're going to have 5 guys in the paint every time we have penetration. So being stronger with the ball and having our outlets there is the first part, I think, of stopping their offenses, us running good offense as well. So might have got caught up in a little bit. We're guarding one way and things are getting called maybe not as evenly at times. And so you just got to play through that. It's the playoffs. You got to understand the physicality and the level is going to go up.
How do you get Jalen going earlier? It seemed like he kind of tried to get into the game with 3-pointers. He missed, and he was kind of just erratic most of the day.
Yeah, get him something easy at the rim. I think the threes are, really good looks. He had wide open looks that he was missing early. But get him downhill, like I said, we have him and Jason are really good mid-range shooters, and they're living with those shots. So try to get him some of those, something closer to the basket, but also understand that the crowd is going to be around him. He has to obviously be strong with the ball, and having 7 turnovers is obviously too high there, but that's what they're going to do on those guys, as they've seen all year by most teams.
Ime, obviously, game of adjustments as you go throughout a series. What kind of things did you learn in your mind about your team today that you maybe need to adjust? Is it some simple things? And what are your thoughts on getting ready for game 2?
Yeah, I'd say, we had that with 5 minutes to go when I called a timeout. I said, let's have some carryover for next game offensively. And we had 3 really good possessions where we penetrated and kicked and made 2 out of 3 3-pointers. So we weren't doing that all day. We knew that coming into it. There were going to be 4 or 5 guys in the paint every time, and we have to make the right reads. And so we'll have some good clips, obviously, to show offensively what we did and some poor ones. And so we can learn from that and get better there. The adjustment is obviously playing against their physicality and us putting them into some different positions where our handlers aren't getting guarded as tightly at half court. So we'll look at all that. And like I said, we feel we can get a lot better going into game 2.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.